The Mysterious Path Few Walk. Esoteric Buddhism Part 1. Imagine standing at the edge of a profound truth, a truth that transcends all boundaries of religion, culture, and even reason. This is the path of esoteric wisdom, a journey that only a few dare to take. Yet all of us are invited to explore. The esoteric path is not for those seeking convenience or simplicity. It is not a path for those who wish to settle for easy theories or quick answers. Esoteric wisdom demands courage, a willingness to transcend oneself, and an acceptance of venturing into realms where reason cannot reach. It is precisely this difficulty that gives the path its true value. In today's video, we will enter a world of ancient wisdom, where different cultures intersect through divine experiences. Esoteric wisdom is not just about philosophical teachings. It is a journey that guides you beyond your personal limitations, expands your mind, and allows you to recognize the grand mysteries of the universe. Those who walk this path, whether in Christian, Hindu, or Sufi traditions, seek something greater than themselves, an awakening, a meeting with the divine. You may wonder, why do different cultures have such similar mystical paths? Why, no matter where they are, do truth seekers all seem to be drawn towards a higher truth? The answer may lie in the very nature of humanity. Everyone has an intrinsic longing, a desire to connect with something greater, whether it be the universe, the divine, or an eternal truth that human intellect cannot fully grasp. Esoteric wisdom is the path that brings us closer to this, where the limitations of language and reason are no longer sufficient to express all that we feel and experience. Thus, you can see that although different cultures may express it in different ways, they are all pointing towards one singular truth, the eternal connection between humanity and the divine, between the visible and the invisible worlds. Along this journey, those who embark on the path of esoteric wisdom not only learn deep knowledge, but also find peace and enlightenment within themselves. And it is this enlightenment that makes the esoteric path a journey not just of exploring the world, but of exploring the self. Esoteric path, a journey beyond boundaries. Esotericism is not confined to any single religion or culture. It is a phenomenon that transcends time and geography. Despite the passing of centuries, despite the shifts in cultures, this mystical path remains present in the hearts of those who seek truth, those who yearn for connection with the divine. Christian mystics, for instance, such as the early saints within Christianity, sought union with God through direct experiences of the divine, through prayer and meditation. For them, esotericism was a means to merge with the divine essence, transcending the limitations of the worldly realm. Meanwhile, Hindu mystics, such as those within Vedanta or Indian monastic traditions, sought to realize Atman, the formless soul, the presence of God within the self. They sought union with the cosmos, discovering their true self and transcending the separation between the individual and the universe. Hindu esotericism is not merely a spiritual journey, but an internal revolution, where all opposites are reconciled. For Sufi mystics, within the Islamic tradition, esotericism was the path that led them to Allah through transcendental states, religious rituals, and sacred moments that only a true Sufi could experience. Sufi rituals, such as the whirling of the whirling dervishes, represent their way of achieving unity with the divine, a deep connection, a boundless state of union with God. Though interpretations vary and methods differ, all these paths point to a common destination, profound connection with the divine. What mystics seek is not academic knowledge or worldly understanding, but a direct feeling, an experience that transcends human reason. They seek harmony between the individual self and the cosmic self, between humankind and the Creator. However, how many truly understand this? How many truly walk this path? The truth is that esotericism is not a path for everyone. Only those who are willing to let go of arrogance, who are willing to forsake worldly desires, can attain the realizations and intuitions that esotericism offers. In a world full of noise and haste, few have the patience and courage to truly embark on this journey of seeking that connection. So, what makes the esoteric path so difficult, and why? Despite its presence across every culture, do so few truly walk this path? The answer is not simple, but if you are ready to open your heart, if you have the courage to step into this journey, you will realize that the path is not just a spiritual voyage, it is an internal revolution. It is a means to reconnect with yourself and with the universe around you. Ancient Tales. Story 1. The Journey of Socrates. Socrates, the great philosopher of ancient Greece, is famous for his statement, "Knowing yourself is the most important thing in life." This is not just a teaching about wisdom, but a profound lesson on humility and the thirst for knowledge. One day, Socrates stood before a crowd and proclaimed that he knew nothing. This statement was not just an act of humility, but a deep reflection of his philosophy of intellectual discovery. You may have wondered, do we truly understand everything we think is truth? Do we know all that we once considered certain? Socrates' story is one of humility in the pursuit of knowledge. He didn't merely acknowledge his own ignorance. He invited everyone, no matter how learned, to open their hearts and constantly question what they held to be true. For Socrates, knowing oneself was the recognition of one's limitations. He did not believe that he had all the answers. On the contrary, he encouraged others and himself to continue probing, to delve deeper into the eternal questions of life. This is exactly how the esoteric path operates. Esotericism is not about holding an absolute truth, but about a continuous journey to explore and re-explore that truth, recognizing that we can always learn and uncover new layers of meaning. Surely, you have encountered moments in life when you ask yourself, do I really understand the world? Or, is what I believe truly the absolute truth? These seemingly simple questions are the keys to unlocking the wisdom that Socrates pointed to. Every question, every doubt is a step forward on the path to discovering the truth. But the most important takeaway from this story is the reminder about humility and patience in the learning process. We can never know everything, but knowing that we do not know is an integral part of the journey. Once we accept the unknown, we open ourselves up to new truths, truths that may have always been there but were never discovered. This story also reflects an important aspect of esotericism, humility in approaching the divine. Mystics, regardless of their tradition, must learn to let go of their small self to embrace transcendent experiences. They do not claim to have grasped all truth. Instead, they walk the path of exploration, where every step brings them closer to the divine essence. Socrates' story is a testament to the idea that asking, seeking, doubting, and expanding our minds are the only ways to move closer to deeper understandings. In modern life, we may become tired of the truths we once held dear, but it is precisely in this fatigue that we have the opportunity to regenerate our wisdom and embark on an esoteric journey, where humility and openness are the keys to uncovering the deepest truths. This story is not just a lesson in humility and learning, but also a reminder about patience and courage when facing the unknown. By embracing the questions without answers, we not only explore the outer world, but come to a deeper understanding of ourselves. The Path to Liberation of Buddha. The story of Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, is one of the most profound examples of the journey of self-realization and spiritual transformation. Before becoming the Buddha, Siddhartha was a prince who lived in luxury and material abundance. Despite his royal life fulfilling every physical need, Siddhartha felt an inexplicable emptiness. It was an invisible longing, a relentless search for the deeper truth and meaning of life. Thus, Siddhartha decided to leave the palace, his family, and all material possessions in search of answers to human suffering. His journey was filled with hardships and challenges, and through each stage, he gradually realized that suffering arose from attachment, craving for material things, and desires that can never be fully satisfied. This realization led to a profound enlightenment. All suffering comes from desire and attachment to material things. This truth is not merely a simple philosophy of liberation, but also an invitation for us to examine our own lives. Have we ever asked ourselves if we are living in attachment, in the illusions of materialism, or if we are seeking liberation and peace by letting go of those attachments? Buddha not only taught that suffering originates from desire, but he also pointed to the path of freedom. This path is not a physical journey, but a spiritual transformation, where we learn to overcome negative emotions, let go of attachments to meaningless material things. One of the greatest lessons from Buddha's story is learning to live in the present moment, freeing ourselves from worries about the past and future, and finding tranquility in each moment. A real-life example: consider the story of a wealthy man living in a luxurious mansion as a clear illustration of attachment to material possessions. Every day, he works relentlessly, striving for more, but instead of feeling happiness, he feels empty and unsatisfied. One day, he happens to meet a wandering monk living simply in the forest, with no house or possessions. The monk appears serene and peaceful. The wealthy man, confused, asks him why he seems so peaceful while he has everything that many people dream of. The monk simply smiles and says, "I have nothing to lose, so I am not afraid of loss." This story reflects Buddha's teaching of letting go of attachment to material things in order to find inner peace. Enlightenment does not come from what we own, but from how we let go and live in harmony with the universe. Concluding the lesson, the story of Buddha reminds us that liberation is not about escaping life or giving up everything we have, but about the ability to reevaluate what truly matters. It invites us to ask ourselves, are we living a fulfilling life? Or are we merely chasing after things that do not bring lasting happiness? The path to liberation is the path of freedom in the mind, unbound by material things or endless desires. And only through this letting go can we find true freedom, as well as a deeper connection to the universe and the divine. This story speaks to the essence of Buddha's teachings. True liberation comes from within, through letting go of attachments and living fully in the present, free from the chains of materialism and desire. By embracing the path of inner peace, we can step into a higher state of being, one that is connected not only to ourselves but to the greater universe. Story 3: Sufi and the Search for Allah. Sufism, a mystical branch of Islam, is a path where individuals seek a direct connection with Allah through deep and sacred spiritual experiences. For them, the spiritual journey is not merely a series of rituals or formal prayers, but a process of self-exploration and awakening to recognize Allah's presence in every moment of life. Sufi mystics do not seek enlightenment through theory alone, but through direct experiences with the divine, opening their hearts and fully surrendering to the love of Allah. One of the most famous stories in Sufi tradition is the story of Rumi, a Persian poet and mystic. Rumi was not only a poet but also a spiritual teacher who inspired millions with his poems filled with divine love and the harmony between humans and the universe. His poems are not merely beautiful verses but also teachings on how to live in connection with the divine and how love can guide us to the truth. One of Rumi's most famous sayings is, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." This is one of his deepest messages and a core principle in Sufi tradition. Rumi believed that love is not just an emotion but a mystical force that can connect us to the divine, to Allah. Love is not only about loving a person or an object. It is about loving everything, loving the universe, loving oneself, and loving the sacred. This story is not only advice about love, but also a reminder of how to seek the truth through divine experiences. For Rumi, truth is not something that can be easily accessed through intellect or conventional knowledge. Truth, for him, is a spiritual state that can only be attained when we open our hearts and let love guide us. It is through love that we can transcend our own limitations and understand the mystery of the universe and our connection to the divine. Through this story, we may also ask ourselves, are we seeking truth in life through love and openness? Or are we still stuck in old patterns, only seeking theoretical answers, while neglecting the ability to experience and feel the sacred in every moment of life? Rumi teaches us that love is the path to enlightenment. And when we open ourselves to unconditional love, we begin to realize truths we had overlooked before. When reflecting on the ancient stories of Socrates, Buddha, and the Sufi mystics, I wonder, are we on the right path? Are we truly listening to the call of the mystical? Or are we merely chasing after the material goals imposed upon us by society? Are we seeking the truth? or simply trying to satisfy our temporary desires and the illusions that modern life constantly presents. Each of these ancient philosophies carries a great truth, which sometimes we unknowingly forget. That truth is spiritual awakening, a state each person must go through in order to truly realize that happiness is not the result of material accumulation or external success, but the outcome of inner harmony. This awakening can only occur when we dare to face ourselves, when we transcend our own limitations, and seek harmony with the universe. Buddha pointed out that all suffering arises from excessive desires and attachment to material things. Socrates taught us that recognizing our own limitations and admitting what we do not know is the key to unlocking the door of wisdom. Rumi, with his divine love in his poems, teaches that the path to truth is not rigid striving, but humility, an expansion of the soul to embrace and feel the presence of the divine in every moment. These three stories, though coming from different cultures, share a profound common message. We can only achieve liberation and enlightenment when we know how to transcend our own barriers, leave behind the limits imposed by society or ourselves, and merge with a greater truth that transcends the small and the temporary. When we truly listen to the lessons of the past, when we open our hearts to the profound truths that life invites us to embrace, we will understand that the mystical path is not a difficult road we must climb, but a journey into our own soul, to find peace and a deep connection with the universe. Are you ready to begin this journey? Finally, the stories of esotericism and ancient wisdom are not just lessons in religion or philosophy, but reminders of the path of life. From them, we can learn that humility in learning is the key to unlocking the door to profound wisdom. As Socrates taught, when we dare to admit that we do not know, we truly open our hearts to receive the truths yet to be discovered. The grand lessons life can teach us. Liberation comes from renouncing material things and desires. As Buddha pointed out, we cannot find peace in endless accumulation. Only when we let go of fleeting desires and material attachments can we experience true freedom, free from the things that cause us suffering. Love and harmony with the universe are the only paths that lead us to enlightenment. As Rumi affirmed, love is not merely an emotion, but a mystical force that connects us with the divine and with our true selves, allowing us to feel harmony with the world around us. So, are you ready to walk this mysterious path? This path is not easy, but if we dare to walk it, it will reveal profound truths about ourselves and the universe. Remember, this path is not for the masses, but if you find the light in the darkness, you will never feel lost. Open your soul, seek the truth in stillness, and never stop learning, because only then will we truly live in inner stillness, the stillness within, where all mysteries will gradually be revealed. Thank you for watching this video. If you found value in the stories and philosophies we shared, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next videos from Inner Stillness. We look forward to joining you on the path of exploring wisdom and spiritual awakening.